वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We will do some reading practice and then continue with the topic what we started in the last class, because some people still have problem in reading the script properly. So we will do some reading practice also. Okay, Akanksha ji, please.
Yes, Guruji. Sumukhaya.
You can read the heading also.
Yes. Adhodattanam padanam uchcharanam kuruta.
Very good. Yes. Adhodattanam padanam uchcharanam kuruta. It means please. Adhodattanam given below. Dattanam given below. The words padanam uchcharanam means pronunciation. Kuruta, read. Kuruta means do, not read. Uchcharanam kuruta means read. Read the words which are given below. Yeah.
Yeah. Sumukhaya.
You can read horizontally. Yeah.
Yes. Ekadantaya, Kapilaya, Gajakarnakaya, Lambodaraya.
Okay, good. Next person, Deepika ji.
Ji. Vikataya, Vignarajaya, Vinayakaya, Dhumketave, Ganadhyakshaya.
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 Okay, next person, Akush.
Palachandraya.
Your voice is not clear, very feeble. Little louder.
Palachandraya, Gajananaya.
Voice is feeble.
Vakratundaya.
Your voice is feeble.
I try to do something.
Yeah, please read.
Yes. Palachandraya, Gajananaya, Vakratundaya, Shurya Karnaya.
Not sure yet. Read properly.
Oh, sorry. Shurpakaranaya, Hirambaya.
Yeah, you have to check your audio, why it is feeble. Check that.
Okay.
Next person, Subbalakshmi ji. Parul ji can read, and then after that, Subbalakshmi. Parul.
Purvajaya, Siddhi Vinayakaya, Jnana Ganapataye, Namaha, Om.
Okay. Next person, Parul Patwaji. The last line you can read. Okay. I think she's having some problem there. Bhavani, you can read. Next line.
Yes, Guruji. Namo, Namo, Pradapadaye.
No. Read that properly. It is not Pradapadaye.
Okay. Pradapadaye,
Mhm.
Gana,
No.
Ganapataye,
What is the first letter?
Namo,
That's
Pra-
okay. I'm not talking about the first word. First letter of this word, what you are reading it.
okay. Pradapadaye.
Again,
Can you
I can hear you, but your reading is mistaken. It's not correct. Read again. What is this letter?
Pakara and Ra.
Ra. Bakara plus Lepa plus Sa. That should be clear. Okay.
Okay.
Ra plus Lepa plus A. Ra. The next,
Ra, ta,
what is this?
ta,
Now read this.
prata, pataye,
What is this letter? Again.
prata, pataye,
What is, please, you only read what I'm asking you to read. What is this first letter?
pra,
It is Ra. Remember. Don't make it short. Ra. The next one.
ta,
Read together. What is this?
prata,
Rata. Okay. So read.
prata, pataye,
You read the beginning. Something you read. And Rada Pataye. It is not the. It is the.
ta,
Not the. Okay.
ta, prata, pataye,
Rata Pataye.
prata, pataye.
Hmm.
Thank you, Guruji.
Continue.
Gana, pataye,
Okay.
then pramata, pataye,
Why Pramata? It is Dirgha.
pramata,
What is this letter?
ta,
It is Ta.
ta, ta.
We need to practice the letters.
Okay, Guruji.
Other practice, I don't know, it is not sufficient.
Hmm.
Ta. It is not Dirgha. Where is Dirgha? It is Rasva or Dirgha?
Uh,
Is Rasvam? What is Dirgham?
this is Dirgha, right?
How can be Dirgha? Is it a Dirgha one? If it is Dirgha, what about this? What about this? How do you read this one?
Oh, yeah, the ka. That is Dirgha. You're correct. Yeah.
Thanks for correcting.
Yeah.
What is it then?
Pramata, pataye.
Word, Pramata Pataye. But you are reading Pramata means you will continue with the same thing. You have to see the letter properly, what it is. Pramata Pataye. Pramata Pataye.
Pramata,
Many people
pataye.
have problem in reading the script now. I don't know. You have to work on this. Otherwise, we won't be able to move forward.
Okay. Pramata,
But you
pataye.
also have to improve.
Okay. Astu.
To some extent, they can help you reading. After that, you need to work on that. You take the script and start reading. You have to do a lot of readings.
Okay, Guruji.
Continue, Bhavaniji.
Astu.
That's the last. Next person, Kirtiji.
Okay. Vigna Vinashine
Good.
Shivasutaya Srivarada
Murtaye.
Murtaye Ganapatihi Namavalihi.
Okay, good. Another next person. Neelamji, you can read, please.
Namaste.
You can read two lines, you can read, yeah.
Astu भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय
Read again.
त्रिकालग्निकालाय
Read again.
त्रिकालाग्निकालाय.
You understand the difference now.
Yes, yes.
Trikalagni Kalaya. This is Ras. In the beginning you read Trikalagni, not Kalagni. Kalagni. That is Dirga.
Right.
Next person, Sanghaviji.
Okay, Guruji. Kalagni-rudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha Shambhave.
Shambhave, not Sambhave.
Guruji, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
I have sent a message in the WhatsApp group, a sentence.
Yeah, what's the doubt?
In that I have underlined a word, Pani Sankvanita.
Pani Sankvanita, yes.
The dot actually on the top of the of any word will represent Makara, right?
Pani Sam.
But actually in the pronunciation, this
Makara,
is
it is for Anuswara.
Guruji, I'm not understanding.
It is Anuswara, not Makara. Pani Sankvanita. Anyway, we'll talk about that later after the class.
Okay. Okay,
Pani
Guruji.
Sam. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next person, Akankshaji. You can read this. Whatever we read now, the same thing. All the words are now put together.
Yes, sir. Om Namo Vratapataye Namo Ganapataye Namaha Pramathapataye Namaste Astu Lambodharaya Ekadantaya Vigna Vinashine Shivasutaya Shri Varada Murtaye Namo Namaha.
This is the mantra which is taken from Ganapati. Okay, can you read that also? What is it?
Ganapati Atharva Shirsho Panishat.
Atharva Shirsho Upanishad. This is the mantra, from that it is taken. That's what you read now, before. Individually, the words were there. Now the words are put together. This is a mantra. Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramatapataye, Namaste Astulambodharaya Ekadantaya Vigna Vinashine Shivasutaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namo Namaha. Okay, the next person, Deepika.
जी शंभवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्री मन्महादेवाय नमः.
Yes. This is from Rudram, Shri Rudram. Shambhave Namaha. Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trambakaya Tripurantakaya Agnirudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. This is from the Sri Rudram. So you should have the fluency to read like this. That's why it's taken. Anyway, these two are mantras. It has got swaras. So when you chant with the swara, it will be like this. But it is enough you just read. Okay, the next one, Akoshi. Please read 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, Guruji. Sumukhaya namaha, Ekadantaya namaha, Kapilaya namaha, Gajakaranakaya namaha.
Hey, Om is there. Why not Om? Om also can be read.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Okay. Gajakarnakaya namaha after that, number 5.
Om Lambhodaraya namaha.
Okay, next person. Yeah, your voice is very feeble, sir. You have to correct. Check your audio. Lakshmi ji, number 6. Next person, Subal Lakshmi ji, can read. Okay, next person, Bhavani ji, you can read. Number 6.
ओम विकटाय नमः, ओम विघ्नराजाय नमः, ओम विनायकाय नमः, ओम धूमकेतुवे नमः,
Then number
ओम
10.
गणाध्यक्षाय नमः, ओम
Next person.
आदर्शप्राय
Next,
नमः.
Bhavani ji.
Om Balachandraya Namaha.
Read again.
Balachandraya.
What is this letter? Is it Ba?
Pa. Balachandraya Namaha.
Balachandraya namaha. Ha.
Balachandraya Namaha. Om Gajananaya Namaha. Om Vakra Tundaya Namaha. Om Shurpakarnaya Namaha. Om Herambaya Namaha.
Next person, Kirti ji.
From 16. Om Skanda Purvajaya Namaha. Om Siddhi Vinayakaya Namaha. Vinayakaya Namaha. Om Jnana Ganapataye Namaha.
Jnana Ganapataye namaha.
Jnana Ganapataye Namaha.
So this is the Namavali. Namavali, with all these words already you read. Now with
Right.
Omkara at the beginning and Namaha at the end, it becomes a Namavali for doing Archana. Archana to be the Devata, Ganesha. So when you now you can practice reading of the Namavali of any Devata, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Lalita Sahasranamam. Practicing the script, which is a long one, like the difficult shlokas. What Sangavaji has sent, I think it is difficult to read. To start with, it is difficult to read. Sangavaji, from where you have taken this script?
Guruji, it is Narayaniyam.
Narayaniyam.
68th chapter. Yes, Guruji.
Okay. For the beginners, it is difficult to read. Take some time. Anyway, but if you are practicing, if you want to practice reading, take the Namavali. Take the Namavali of Vishnu Sahasranam. It is very simple. 1,000 names will be there of Vishnu. You can read that. Similarly, other Sahasranamam, whichever Sahasranamam you have, Shiva Sahasranamam or Devi, you can take and read. Practice reading the words. That's a good exercise. So you have to keep on reading as many words as possible, so that fluency will improve. Okay. So now read quickly this. Shabdaha, more words for reading practice. Okay. Next person can read that. Nilamji, please. You're reading.
Ajah, Ajagarah, Ashwah, Adhyapakah, Anandah, Agamah, Asandah, Akashah, Acharah, आलयः, आरक्षकः, ईश्वरः,
ईश्वरः,
ईश्वरः, ऊर्णनाभः, ओष्ठरागः, कपोलः,
कपोलः.
कपोलः.
Okay, here these are the masculine gender words. You remember in the last class we saw, I introduced the Pratipadikam, Dhatu, all those technical terms we saw. Then we saw the gender, the three genders, Strilinga, Pullinga, and Napumsakalinga. These are the Pullinga words. The words have gender. Please remember. The words have gender. The gender of the word is not determined by the meaning of it. The chair is Pullinga. Chair is, in English, chair is what? Neuter gender. But in Sanskritam, it is Pullinga. Akasha is Pullinga. Ananda is Pullinga. Ananda is a feeling, it's an emotion, right? That is Pullinga. So these are Pullinga Shabda. This is also for reading, and the words, you need to know the meaning of these words also to develop the vocabulary. So you can please read this also. Next person, Sanjayji. Next 5 minutes we can read.
Karadipah, Kadipattah,
Not Kadi.
Kap-
Read that again.
Katipattah,
Yeah. Katipattaha.
Katipattah, Kapihi, Kapotah, Kupah, Keshah, Karkatakah, Karmakarah, Karjurah, Gramah, Charmakarah, Chamasah, Chashakah, Chalakah, Chitrakarah.
Next person, Akankshaji. Next 5 lines we can read.
Janakah, Jalashayah, Tailapah, Dandadipah, Dhivaraha, Nakulaha, Nartakaha, Patihi, Pachakaha, Bhallukaha, Makaraha, Lekhakaha, Shalabhaha, Shiraha, Shauchalayaha.
Person, Deepika.
शल्यः, शृङ्गालः, शम्बुकः,
Read again.
शृङ्गालः, शम्बुकः,
No, it's not Shingala. You have to read that again.
शृगालः, sorry, शृगालः, शम्बुकः, सहोदरः,
Shambhukaha. See, not Shambhukaha. Shambhukaha.
शम्बुकः, सहोदरः, सर्पः, सुधाखण्डः, सूकरः, सुवर्णकारः, सेवकः, स्कन्धः, सिंहः, सैनिकः, स्तम्भः, हरिणः, हस्तः.
Good. Next person. These are Pullinga Shabdaha, masculine gender words. Now, these are Strilinga Shabda, feminine gender words. Akoshi, you can read. Read carefully.
Ambava,
Again.
Amba, yes. Anuja, Angraja, Apaga, Agnipetika, Avakarika, Anamika.
Not Avakarika. Read that again.
Avakarika. Avakarika.
Okay.
Anamika. Utpitaka, utpitika, kunchika, javanika, jinna.
Jinnah. What is Jinnah? What are the letters in
Sorry,
that?
Jihva. Sorry, yes, I see. Now I see Jihva. The tongue is Jihva. Jihva. Chulika. Churika. Jatuka. Janani. Janani.
Janani. Okay. See, we need to practice. It takes a lot of time to read. By reading only it comes. As you read, as I told, other script, practice reading. In this book itself, a lot of words are there. Go through all the words reading. Need to develop reading fluency.
Yes, Guruji.
Next person. After Akosh. Subbalakshmi ji.
Nasika, Pakashala, Pipilika, Putri, Balika, Varya, Mapika, Madhumakshika, Murda, Mala, Lata, Lekani, Shatika, Sudha, Haimika,
Is this good?
Sudha,
Again, what is that word?
Sutta,
Now read.
Sutta,
Sutta, not Sudha. It is Sutta, like Lata. It is
Sutta.
Sutta. First letter of the Tavarga class. It is Sutta.
Okay, good.
It is hard consonant. All the properties you must know. What are the letters? What are its property? When you say ta is first letter of Tavarga, it is dental. It is hard consonant. It is alpa pranas. All these, the knowledge is important, will be useful later when we do the advanced Sanskritam. Okay, next person.
Can I read?
Bhavanji. Yeah. Bhavanji, yeah, please read.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm right. Okay. Yes, Guruji. Asanam, Abharanam, Alukam, Amrapalam, Udaram, Upathanam, Upathanam,
Not Uba.
Upa,
It is not Uba. Don't make it Pakara to Bakara. Upadhanam.
Upa.
The influence of Tamil is there more on reading.
Yeah, that's
To correct that. It is to correct. The beauty is there only the distinguish the pronunciation of the letters. Pa, pha, bha, bha, ma. Upadhanam, not Ubadhanam.
Okay. Upadhanam.
Upadhanam.
Upadhanam. Correct, Guruji. Kankanam. Kadalipalam. Karavastram. Grinjanakam. Grinjanakam.
Grinja, not Nagam. It's not Nagam.
Nakam.
The word is, the letter is Ka, not Ga. Grinjanakam.
Grinjanakam. And then Chibukam. Chibukam.
Chibukam, not Chibukam. Chibukam.
Chibukam. Chatram, Jalam, Twaram, Netram.
Yeah, you, of course, you have to practice. Reading practice you need to do.
Okay, Guruji.
Kirtiji, last 4.
Narikelam, Panasaphalam, Patalam, Bhavanam, Mitram, Yutkam,
Not Yutkam.
sorry,
It's not Hindi.
Yutakam, Lashunam, Lekanapitam, Vadanam, Shvetapatram, Svedakam, Haritakam.
You speak Hindi, Kirtiji?
Yes, Guruji.
Yutakam, why did you read Yutkam? In Hindi, how you know it is Yut or Yuta? You write Ta only. That A is there. But why do you read Yutkam in Hindi, I'm asking. Suppose if it is a Hindi word.
Actually, colloquially, I mean, spoken in Hindi, we just kind of cut
No.
it. I mean,
Why youth? It is not why it is the kakara there it doesn't happen. Yutakam, something like that. Why it is there takara? You understand what I'm asking? Why in that letter ta only?
Yutaka.
Yes, I want to know. That's what I'm asking. Okay. Like Vadanam is there. Vatnam. Why don't you say Vatnam or any other word? But why do you say that ta? How do we know that ta? Suppose in Hindi, if you take any word, that which letter you pronounce only the consonant. Why the which letter that the vowel is should not be pronounced in a word? How do we know that in Hindi? Is it by practice or anybody who knows you can enlighten me? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I also know Hindi, but it is only by abhyasa, only by practice, only by the usage, familiarity, words are pronounced, I think.
Yeah, it's more, I mean, of course, we just speak, but we really don't follow any rule or any particular rule. Is just a colloquial, and it just
No, there must be some rule, right? See, Bhavanam, suppose the word is there. You say Bhavanam also. I mean, suppose if in Hindi, if you can say, I don't know. But how do you know it is Bhavanam or Bhavanam? In Hindi, I'm asking, is there any rule, any grammatical rule is there? Syntax is there in reading?
No idea, Guruji.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. If anybody knows, you can let me know later. Yeah, and surprising thing is people who don't know Hindi also, even the non-native, I mean, Indian language speakers, they also read like that. I'm surprised. How would they make it that into the consonant? When ta is there, the vowel, they read takara only. Surprising. What makes them read? Anyway, next person, Neelamji, you can read. These are the, okay, before that, the words what you read now, all these are neutral gender words. Pumsakalinga words. Now, the important characteristics of Mahabharata is please do the reading practice, or we can do in the next class. Now, we will continue with what we were seeing in the last class. Just getting into the language now. After learning the alphabets and practice of words and sentences and the subhashitams, the shlokas, now we are getting the language. In the last class we saw. Do you remember what are the things we saw in the last class? I introduced some technical terms. Remember what are the words technical?
Namapadam.
Very good. Namapadam.
Kriyapadam.
Kriyapadam. How do you derive Namapadam? How do you get Namapadam? From what?
Shabdaha.
Yes, from Shabda you get Namapadam by adding
Suffix.
suffixes. And the suffixes are called the suffixes which are added to the Namapadam. Which are added to the Shabda to get Namapadam.
Is it dhatu?
Dhatu?
That is-
No.
Pratyaya.
Pratyayas, suffixes are called Pratyaya, and I think I told Supratyaya.
Pratyaya.
The name just Supratyaya. What are Sup and all we will see later. Pratyaya meaning suffix. Shabda Pratipadika is noun base. Dhatu is, verbal root is called Dhatu. So Shabda is noun base, verbal root is Dhatu, and from the Shabda, Namapadam is derived by adding the Pratyayas which are called Supratyayas. From the Dhatu, Kriyapadam is derived, which are called. From Kriyapadam is derived by adding the suffixes, Pratyayas, which are called Ting Pratyayas. So Supratyaya, Ting Pratyayas. Okay, even if you don't remember the Sup and Ting, doesn't matter now. What are Sup, what are Ting, you will ask, but we are going to see later. That is advanced. Later we will study. The Padam you need to know. Padam meaning word. But we don't translate the word Padam as. Remember the translation of the word Namapadam? It is noun form, not even noun. Translation of the word Namapadam is noun form. The translation of the word Kriyapadam is verbal form. And Shabda is noun base, Dhatu is verbal root. So Shabda as a name suggests that noun base, it is a base from which the noun forms are derived. Dhatu meaning the verbal root, just the meaning. Dhatu is verbal root, meaning of the action. It denotes only the action, pure action, from which we derive Kriyapadam. It's called verbal forms or verbs in English. Okay, the translation also you need to know. You should not confuse the Shabda and Namapadam. Both are different. Shabda cannot be used in the language. Dhatus cannot be used in the language as such. It has to become Padam. Shabda has to become Namapadam. Dhatu has to become Kriyapadam. Only Padams can be used in the language. Okay, this we saw last class. Then the noun forms. Introduction to noun bases and noun forms. The noun bases, as I told before, the Shabda. It has three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. That is Pullinga, Strilinga, Napumsakalinga. You can know these Sanskritam words. Pullinga, Strilinga, Napumsakalinga. And the gender of the word doesn't depend on the meaning of the word. Examples are given already. The word for wife in Sanskritam. In English, wife is Strilinga, but in Sanskritam we have words in Adalinga. Masculine also we have, feminine word also we have, and neuter word also we have for the word wife. Therefore, in English it is wife means Strilinga because it is connected to the meaning of the word, but in Sanskritam it is not like that. The word for wife, Kalatram. Kalatram is Napumsakalinga word. The meaning is wife. Kalatram meaning wife. The word is Napumsakalinga. The gender of the word is Napumsakalinga. Not the gender of the meaning of what it denotes. That may be Strilinga, but the word. So, therefore, the word has gender, not what the word denotes. Remember, this must be clear. And we have words, Bharya, Patni, all these are Strilinga words, meaning wife. And Pullinga also we have Dharaha. It is Pullinga Shabda. So, therefore, Therefore, we need to know the gender of the word also. When we know the meaning of the word, we need to know the gender of the word also. Generally, we see the dictionary for the meaning. But in Sanskritam, we need to refer to the dictionary even for the gender as well as the meaning. The dictionary serves two purposes: the gender and the meaning. That is why we read the words which are masculine, feminine, and neuter. Just now we read. We will continue. You can see here it is written clearly. In Sanskritam, we cannot conclude the gender of a word just by its meaning or by what it denotes. You cannot conclude. Then how do you conclude? A word can be in any gender, but what the word points out need not conform to the gender of the word. In other words, the gender of the word need not conform with the meaning of the word. That is what I said. For example, the word vriksha meaning tree, it is a masculine gender word. Similarly, daraha meaning wives, it is masculine. And the word patashala is school. It is a feminine gender word. So patashala is a feminine gender word. School is a feminine gender word. In English, school may be a neuter gender, but here it is a feminine gender word. Okay, so this is about the linga, the gender. The next one is, in other languages, we have only singular and plural, whereas in Sanskritam we have dual also. We have got dual also. That is the one more unique thing which can be seen in Sanskritam. That is, the number is ekavachanam. Ekavachanam means singular. Dvivachanam is plural. Sorry, Dvivachanam is dual. Bhagavachanam is plural. So ekavachanam, dvivachanam, bhagavachanam. Singular, dual, plural. So we have dual also. Dual forms. Dvi means two. Eka means one. Bhagu is many. So if it is, for example, ekavachanam, there is a tree, only one tree. Vrikshaha we say. Many trees are there, vrikshaha. Only two trees are there. We have the word vrikshau. Vrikshau means two trees. Only two. More than two is called plural. Remember, more than two is bhagavachanam. So balaha is a boy. Balau, dvivachanam, two boys. Balaha, many boys. Acharya, one acharya, the teacher. Two acharyas are there. Acharyau. Many acharyas are there. Acharyaha. We have words. We have words for singular to denote singular, dual, and plural. So dual is something unique in Sanskritam. So you need to note Dvivachanam also is to denote a group of two. We have word for that. Okay. Then the Sanskritam word for the noun base is Shabda. We have seen Shabda meaning noun base. The translation of the word Shabda is noun base, which has a technical name Pratipadikam. This also you can note. I use sometimes Pratipadikam, sometimes Shabda, both meaning same, noun base. Pratipadikam is a technical term used by the Panini Maharishi in his grammar system. So Pratipadikam. So the word Shabda or Pratipadikam denotes the noun base. These noun bases cannot be used in the language as such for speaking or writing. You cannot use. Then what do you use? Only the noun forms. Only the padam can be used. That is the padam, namapadam, derived from the shabda can be used. Shabda is the crude noun base. Cannot be used in the language directly. Should be converted, should be refined, should be a crude noun base should be refined for use in the language. A noun form is derived from a noun base by adding a suffix which is called pratyayaha. So, pratyayaha. Pratyayaha means suffix. This word also you can note. Pratyaya meaning suffix. We have got many suffixes in English. Go plus ing, going, that ing is suffix. Similarly, Sanskritam, we have lot of suffixes, more than English. The whole language consisting of so many words, they are derived by adding suffixes from the noun base or from the dhatu. So a lot of suffixes are there. We'll discuss about suffixes later in detail. Just know the name. The suffixes which are added to the noun bases, that is the shabda or pratipadikam, they are called sup pratyayaha. Sup pratyayaha is sup pratyayaha means the pratyas, the sup pratyas, the suffixes which are added to noun base to get the namapadam. Here I said pratyayaha. Here I said pratyayaha and here I am saying pratyayaha. This is plural. Pratyaya is suffix. Pratyayaha is suffixes. It is plural. Bhagavachanam. And the name of the pratyaya is supratyaya. Just know the word sup. That is enough. So supratyaya added to shabda. Get namapadam. Okay, so need to remember these words also. The technical word for the noun form of the noun base is padam, namapadam. Therefore, the shabda has to become a padam for its usage in the language by adding the suffix suffixes supratayaha. Okay. Now, the next point, please pay attention. It's important to be understood. Based on the gender of the word, the noun bases can be declined for its singular, dual, and plural for the noun forms. Now, from the noun base, I said noun forms are derived. That is a shabda. From the shabda, the namapadams are derived. The derivation is based on the gender. It is not common for all the genders. It depends on the gender of the word. Suppose if it is a masculine gender word, then the derivation is different from Strilinga and Napumsakalinga. Similarly, for other lingas, they are different. They are not same. The declension, I use the word declension. What is declension? That is a noun base converted to namapadam by adding the suffixes. That is called declension. Otherwise called cases. So declensions of noun bases is called cases. We have 7 plus 1 cases. 7 cases and 1, that is one is vocative cases. Let me explain what is this cases. In English, we have prepositions. In, at, on, with, by, for, from, to, between. So many prepositions are there. In Sanskritam, we don't have prepositions. Prepositions are not available independently in Sanskritam. Then without prepositions, how do you speak? How do you connect the words? Like the book is on the table. Suppose you say the book is on the table. On, the preposition. the fruit falls from the tree, from the preposition. In Sanskritam, we don't have. If we don't have, then how do you connect the words? Prepositions are built in the noun form itself. The noun forms, what we derived from the noun base, the noun form itself has the prepositional meaning. That is called case. That is called case. The 7 cases I told, first case, second case, third case, fourth case, fifth case, sixth case, seventh case, plus 1, that is vocative case. These are the 7 plus 1, 8 cases. Cases are nothing. The form of the noun form derived from the noun base by adding the suffix. It's called declension or cases. This first case, second case, these cases, that is the noun forms, have the prepositional meaning. Have the prepositional meaning. How? The pratyas, the suffixes added to this, common noun base gives that meaning. Let me explain more on this. The understanding is very important. If not in-depth understanding, but you must have some general understanding of what this case is. So I'll try to explain. Please see. I'm going to type and show you. You need to understand that in Sanskritam, we don't have prepositions separately. Number 1. All the prepositions are built in the noun itself. Now, can you all see the blank word file and typing there?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guru.
Yeah. Now I'm taking the word Rama. Rama is, okay, what is Rama? Is it a Shabda or it is a noun?
Noun.
I'm going to add suffix to it now. Tell me what is Rama now? Shabda or Namapada? Before adding the suffix, what is it called?
It's Shabda.
Shabda.
It's a Shabda. Now I'm adding one. Okay. I'm adding one suffix. The suffix has the meaning. Suffix has the prepositional meaning. Okay. Suffix has a prepositional meaning, and also suffix. This suffix what they add to the Shabda. That suffix corresponds to the Ekavachanam, singular. So Rama plus, let us say, suffix 1. I'm not writing what the suffix is, not required now. What we get? The word Ramaha. From Rama, the crude noun base, there is the Pratipadikam. By adding the suffix 01, you get Ramaha. So this suffix has that meaning to convert, as a meaning to give, or as a meaning to this suffix has the power to convert the Rama to a Padam, that is number 1. And also the suffix has that meaning. What meaning here Rama has got? Ramaha is agent. Ramaha is the agent of the subject of the sentence. Ramaha. Like Rama walks, Rama eats, Rama sleeps. There the actions are performed by the agent, the subject. That is Ramaha. So you have to use Ramaha only. You cannot say Rama because Ramaha is a padam. Rama is not a padam. It is a noun base. You cannot use a noun base. And this Ramaha, which denotes the subject or the agent in the sentence, has that meaning, that agent meaning. How? Because of this suffix. The suffix has that meaning, and it has given that meaning to the word Rama by making into a padam, nama padam. Similarly, another one you take Rama plus another suffix number 2, adding that to the word Rama, then Rama will become Ramam. It will become the same word Rama. It has become Ramam. How? Because of the suffix, the different suffix. Here, Ramam, when you say, Ramam is what? Is a padam. The same Rama, which is the Shabda, noun base. By adding a different suffix number 2, you get Ramam, the padam. And what does it mean, Ramam? Here, the Ramam tells that the word is the object in the sentence. Ramam is the object, like the Sita marries Rama. Who is the karta in the sentence? Who is the doer? Sita marries Rama. Sentence. Who is the karta? Who is
Sita.
Sita. What about Rama?
Object.
Object. That object meaning is given by the suffix. You understand? The object meaning is given by the suffix number 2, and when this added to the Pratipadikam Rama, you get the word Ramam. Similarly, for other prepositional meanings, similarly we have Ramena. Ramena is the third case. Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat, then Ramasya, then Rame. These are the 7 cases. Rama is first case because a particular suffix is added. You get this. The case corresponding to the suffix corresponding to the first case, which is suffix number 1, by which we get Ramaha. Suffix number 2 gives you Ram. Suffix number 3 gives you Ramena. Suffix number 4 give you Ramaya. Suffix number 5 give you Ramat. Suffix number 6 gives you Ramasya. Suffix number 7 gives you Rame. The last one is vocative. I said there you get Rama. Again back to Rama. That is suffix number 8. This is all for Ekavachanam. Similarly for Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam. So it changes. Ramaha is the agent, the subject. Ramam is the object. If Rama is the object in the sentence, then you have to say Ramam only. Now, if Rama becomes an instrument in the sentence, like the chariot, is drawn by Rama, or Ravana. Okay, Ravana was killed by Rama. You take that example. That's good. Ravana was killed by Rama. So here Rama in the sentence, by Rama, we say in English. We don't have by in preposition. Ravana was killed by Rama. So Rama became an instrument for killing Rama. That is what Ramena denotes. So Ramena has the meaning of that by Rama. I'm just saying by Rama, it is not literally by Rama. Okay, it has got the English equivalent prepositional meaning by Rama. Similarly, Ramaya is that which is done for the sake of Rama. Rama, that which has happened from Rama, Ramat. Ramasya is that which Rama has. Like Ramasya Sita means Ramasya Sita, suppose if I say, Sita who belongs to Rama. That is the meaning, Ramasya. Sita of Rama, in English we say OF of. That meaning, Ramasya, the word as Rame, in Rama. In Rama, all the virtues are there. In whom? In Rama. But Rame we have to use. So, these are the Namapadams derived from the one noun base, that is Rama, having different prepositional meaning. Having prepositional meaning built in the padam itself, in the word itself, noun form itself. Okay. That is what we were seeing. So, therefore, this is called cases. So, this we call first case. Ramaha, derived from by adding the suffix number 1 to the Shabda, that is called case number 1. This is case number 2. This is case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6, etc. You understand what I am saying now, all of you?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
We will discuss more on that, and you will understand this when we use, when we see more and more the words. We are going to see only first case now. Other cases, when the context comes, we will see. Slowly, I will introduce the other cases. This is what I have written here. You can see now. These cases are equivalent to the preposition in connection with the noun as in English. Unlike English, we don't have prepositions separately in Sanskritam. The prepositions like in, at, for, between, by, along, they're all built in the noun forms itself. Each case has a name that will be introduced gradually. Okay. For example, the English form of the subject Rama is Rama in Sanskritam. Similarly, by Rama will be Ramena. For Rama will be Ramaya. In Rama will be Rame. Of Rama will be Ramasya. So Ramasya has got the preposition of. You don't have to have a separate word for preposition. Not required. It is all built in the noun itself. Therefore, only in Sanskritam you can jumble the words within a sentence. The meaning will never change. Rama kills Ravana. Rama kills Ravana. Now, in English, if you swap the word Rama and Ravana, the meaning will change. If you put Ravana first and Rama later, then the position of the word determines what the subject is, object is in English. In Sanskritam, it is not like that. Because the noun has the built-in prepositional meaning, anywhere you place a word, the meaning will not change. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Guruji.
All of you?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. All these forms of the noun base Rama are not the exact translation of the preposition. It is given only for your understanding. You please note that. There is more to it, which will be discussed later elaborately. Yes. With this, we can stop. And further, we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I am introducing a little by little. So whatever you learn, it must be thorough. No doubtful knowledge. The knowledge should be clear. Okay, so that will be easy for us to build on this, build on this later, the next class. Okay. And request all of you to practice reading of words, important. Need to have, that is the first thing. Then only the language comes. Okay. Dhanyavadaha. We'll see you next time.
Dhanyawad. Guruji, can you send us this PDF document about the grammar?
Yes, I'll send you. It is good if you can go through this in advance.
Yeah.
I'll send you this.
Yeah. Thanks, Guruji.